Tennessee versus Garner case, a police officer shot a fleeing burglary suspect in the back who presented no danger to anybody, and the court tried to limit that. And our state legislature added this law as a way to say, I think, that officers are justified in using deadly force under these circumstances, but also recognizing that when they make a mistake, they should not be held criminally liable. The city or county employees won't pay out.
So they're exempt from manslaughter.
That's why he gets the big bucks. Let any one of us make a mistake like that, we'll be in handcuffs. With the rules of conduct for a Seattle police officer to call for backup. Then he changed his story, and now he's being let off the hook with not even a charge of manslaughter. I mean, again, I point out, John T., he had no problem walking from wherever he was walking, probably from 1811, down the street during a busy time of the day. Hundreds of people driving by. Not one 911 call was made to the Seattle Police Department dispatch saying that anyone of the public felt threatened by this man. But yet this officer took it upon himself to be the judge, jury, and executioner within 7 seconds. From an elderly man that's hard of hearing, partially crippled with headphones and a closed knife, something is wrong with that. Satterberg has got to go, so does Chief Diaz.
Thank you.
It was expected, but it's still just horrific in its injustice. Because, you know, if we claim to be a country of laws and we claim to have justice for all, then let us manifest that. It seemed to me, even as Satterberg made his statement, he was acknowledging all the grievous errors and stupidity of Ian Birk in, first of all, even approaching John T. Williams. There had been no criminal complaint. He was carrying a legal knife. He was lawfully engaged in his own profession of wood carving, which his family had done for 10 generations. There was no reason for him to stop him. The video shows he got out of the car and had his pistol in his hand already. You know, his Glock. Pistol sounds too friendly. He never identified himself as a police officer. 4 seconds is not long enough for a healthy person to drop a knife, and John T. Williams wouldn't have dropped his knife because it was his sacred carving tool. Just like Ian Birk wouldn't have dropped his gun. So, you know, we have a terrible miscarriage of justice here, a gross ignorance of cultural norms, that you should assault a native person lawfully engaged in his own cultural practice of generations is the first offense, but that you should murder him and that the state should then say that is all right, that's an outrage.
Chief Diaz should do something about this. If he doesn't, he should be relieved of his duties.
Exactly.
You know, exactly. He hasn't done anything with any of the cops that hurt people in the city, and he's been in the police department for over 30 years. He was a bad choice to begin with as chief of police. He should be removed.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, talking to some of the street people who I've talked to, and just seeing the full raft of beatings and abuse and intimidation by police officers is just incredible, and it seems like it's based on gentrification. You know, if some corporation wants to move in and develop an area, you know, the police activity picks up and they start shooing people away. We're going to look at see if anybody could convene a grand jury to fire manslaughter charges. We think that's the biggest remedy right now. But working with the legislature and the city council to change the law. The bar is way too high to protect police officers from prosecution. Like, you know, King County Prosecutor Satterberg, you know, said just that he couldn't prove malice, and he has no jurisdiction to charge manslaughter. You know, so where's the community recourse? There is none. There is no justice here.
Dying. Lights get dim, everything gets silent. No one really cares when police do the violence. Cops on my block making it hot, they moving. They won't stop till we make them stop, remove them. Cops on my block making it hot, they moving. They won't stop till we make them stop, remove them.